We return to Vasa, Swedish warship, with disciplined method and documented truth.
Timing is preservation. Vasa, Swedish warship, doesn't tolerate rushed currents.
2 false leads are expected. Only Vasa earns the next descent.
Modern steel reads too straight. Vasa should curve with timber ribs.
Two ghosts cleared. Vasa, Swedish warship, should read taller, heavier, and more complex.
Repeating cylinders can mean gun positions, consistent with Vasa, Swedish warship.
We descend slow. Vasa is fragile, and silt is unforgiving.
At 32 meters, tiny motions bloom silt. The Vasa demands restraint.
Stillness is a tool. Without it, Vasa disappears. That timber curvature matches Vasa, not modern steel. Wood holds shape. Iron on Vasa turns to lace. Pitting like this means Vasa iron can crumble under load. Even muted, the stern of Vasa still carries intent. Consistent coverage turns Vasa into a usable map.
At the bow of Vasa finery, iron is brittle history. These fasteners define structural limits for lifting Vasa goddess.
Repetition is proof. Vasa, Swedish warship, reveals itself in patterns.
Interior silt can preserve evidence inside Vasa for centuries.
We support Vasa where it can bear load, not where it looks dramatic.
Verify after every cloud. This is how you avoid adding damage to Vasa Sasra. Numbers first. Vasa, Swedish warship, deserves accuracy. Wood can hold. Iron failure is the silent risk on Vasa 4. Openings tempt us. Discipline protects Vasa NA.
If remains are present in Vasa crowds, documentation replaces intrusion.
Vasa is history, and also a grave. Good data preserves dignity. Vasa must be handled ethically. Weight remains, but strength is gone inside Vasa.
Mechanisms in Vasa Swedish warship show how labor and force were organized.
Identity comes from craft. Vasa doesn't need drama. A safe lift of Vasa starts by respecting where it can bear weight.
Every pause protects Vasa, Swedish warship, more than force ever could.
Stability verified. Vasa, Swedish warship, is ready for controlled salvage. Topside precision protects Vasa Kappan, Swedish warship, before the first lift.
Slow ramps keep Vasa, Swedish warship, intact during transition.
We lift Vasa by its strength, not by its scars.
Millimeters reveal failure early. Vasa must never be surprised. Stage by stage, Vasa comes up only under control.
On Vasahön, iron is the first failure mode. Plan lifts around the timber, not the corroded metal. We don't grab Vasa, Swedish warship. We read it, then design around what's left. That powdering on Vasa is active loss. Salvage must reduce stress, not increase it.
If Vasa holds human traces, our job is documentation, not disturbance.
For Vasa, you support the timber grid, not the failing iron rings. Iron at Vasa's bow is history in crust, never a lifting point. These remains anchor Vasa to real lives. Preservation includes dignity.
For Vasatye, proof matters, clean frames, clean ethics.
Mechanical elements in Vasa reveal daily work patterns. Document them before any shift.
We leave Vasa, Swedish warship, exactly as we found it, only our footage changes.
No change means your presence hasn't harmed Vasa. That's the standard.
Markers guide the cradle. Vasa, Swedish warship, stays hands off. This is how you protect Vasa. Instant correction, then patience.
A safe lift for Vasa is drawn before it is attempted.
We mark the gunport row as clearance only, ensuring sling lines never cross openings where edges could crumble. Pre-staging reduces thrashing, critical around Vasa.
We acknowledge what Vasa holds, and we leave it undisturbed.
Survey complete, Vasa is ready for staged salvage.
Topside precision protects Vasa before the first tension rise.
For Vasa, slow ramps prevent sudden fiber failure.
We sleeve every contact. Vasa never meets bare rope.
Good line control is preservation, especially on Vasa cavas.
We lift by millimeters. Vasa must never be surprised.
Millimeters reveal failure early. Vasa gives warnings if you listen.
Hold.
Pauses are not delays. Pauses are protection for Vasa home.
No new movement. Vasa, Swedish warship, stays stable under controlled tension.
If you can't see it, you don't move it, especially with Vasa does.
Cradle first. Vasa rests before it rises.
Controlled seating prevents new damage. Vasa must feel no shock.
Cradle bearing confirmed. Vasa is supported, not hanging.
Redundancy is respect. Vasa does not get a second chance.
We leave the site with Vasa protected, still wet, still supported, still accounted for.
After recovery, the enemy is drying. Vasa must stay wet and stable.
The goal isn't trophies. The goal is stewardship of Vasa, especially when human traces remain.
Salt is the enemy now. Vasa must transition wet and controlled.
Every step stays gentle. Vasa moves only under measured control.
We don't clean Vasa Swedish warship. We stabilize it, document it, and stop further loss.
For Vasa, the first repair is stopping salt from doing more damage.
Those rust grains are active loss. Vasa Swedish warship must stay wet and supported.
With Vasa car, documentation is the first stabilization tool.
We don't rush Vasa kväsen. We let chemistry do the safe work. Iron from Vasa, Swedish warship, must be desalinated slowly or it will fracture as it dries.
Every layer on Vasa tells us how fragile the next step must be.
Vasa, Swedish warship, is also a gravesite. Restoration includes dignity.
Support is a tool. Vasa rests on precision, not force.
New supports must outlast the process. Vasa cannot be re-stressed later. Millimeters matter.
Vasa feels every uneven load.
For Vasa, the stabilization is controlled replacement of water support.
We don't fix Vasa with shortcuts, only with steady chemistry and time.
Low energy protects fragile corrosion on Vasa Claris.
Custom supports mean Vasa never bears weight on a weak point.
From here, every step is conservation. Vasa is now in controlled care.
We repair Vasa, Swedish warship, by knowing exactly where it is failing.
Data-driven handling keeps Vasa, Swedish warship, safer than intuition. To protect Vasa Y, the machines that protect it must be perfect.
Wood from Vasa, Swedish warship, needs uniform impregnation to prevent cracking later.
Rust expansion is slow force. Vasa has been pushed apart from the inside.
Short moves reduce stress peaks critical for Vasa.
Standard angles turn Vasa into measurable evidence.
Vasa K, Swedish warship, is verified by craft and record, not speculation.
We slow the chemistry. Vasa gets breathing room.
If chlorides remain, Vasa keeps corroding, even in a museum.
We look inside Vasa, Swedish warship, without forcing anything open.
A jig prevents accidental bending.
Vasa, the Swedish warship, can't tolerate uneven handling.
Millimeters again, Vasa only moves under permission.
We remove only what's loose. Vasa cannot lose original surface.
Spec stays active. Vasa Swedish warship is conserved with rules, not impulse.
New fixtures must be gentler than the original iron. Vasa has no tolerance for sharpness.
Compression is controlled. Vasa, the Swedish warship, is held, not squeezed.
When the numbers fall, Vasa becomes safer to handle.
Vasa is preserved in data, so decisions can be proven later.
Consolidation keeps Vasa from shedding its own structure.
Restoration of Vasa, Swedish warship, is risk management, not speed.
Uniform sleeves mean uniform protection. Vasa meets nothing harsh.
With Vasa stabilized, we can begin deeper restoration without adding new harm.
Vasa is safe only when the environment stays controlled. We fill, cap, wipe, and rack each vial in identical motions to keep chemistry tracking clean and repeatable.
If chlorides remain in Vasa, corrosion never truly stops.
For Vasa Mummen, stabilization is patient chemistry, not cosmetic repair.
Rust expansion in Vasa Swedish warship acted like a slow jack, pushing wood apart for centuries.
Electrochemistry can rescue Vasa iron, but only if the ramp is gentle.
Every layer tells us how little stress Vasa can tolerate.
Nothing from Vasa disappears without a record.
Stable climate is the invisible scaffold holding Vasa, Swedish warship, together.
Millimeters protect Vasa more than strength ever could.
A fragment from Vasa is still the ship. Handle it like structure.
Consistency turns Vasa into measurable truth.
Aggressive flushing can erase evidence inside Vasa Russian.
Vasa carries human traces. Our restoration must never erase them.
Reversible work protects Vasa Swedish warship from permanent modern scars.
Balance is repair. Vasa, Swedish warship, heals when loads become even.
Tracking change is how Vasa, Swedish warship, stays safe during long treatment.
We slow the clock, Vasa gets time back.
We remove only what is loose. Vasa, the Swedish warship, must keep its original skin. Real progress on Vasa, Swedish warship, looks subtle, and that is the point.
Drying Vasa is the most dangerous phase. Slow changes prevent cracking.
Lift only to support. Vasa never hangs without purpose.
We strengthen Vasa without making it new.
A restored Vasa, Swedish warship, must be provable, not just impressive.
A stable base prevents microvibration damage to Vasa over decades.
Practice prevents panic. Vasa only moves under rehearsal.
Visibility must never cost moisture. Vasa cannot pay that price.
Vasa is also a place of loss, not only engineering.
Context prevents fantasy. Vasa, Swedish warship, is documented history.
No step forward until Vasa is fully accounted for.
Hands-off discipline keeps Vasa, Swedish warship, safe even in a crowded move.
Precision docking. Vasa deserves no jolts, no surprises.
Temporary gear leaves, controlled support stays. Vasa, the Swedish warship, is now stable for the long term.
Air is invisible force. Vasa must feel none of it. Protection is part of conservation. Vasa must be safe from accidental touch.
We teach respect because Vasa carries more than wood and iron.
Vasa sank on August 10, 1628. What we see now is the long echo of that minute.
Maintenance for Vasa is designed to never become damage.
Stability is success. Vasa is preserved when the numbers stay calm.
The work gets quieter, but Vasa still needs constant care.
We documented human remains in Vasa and kept them undisturbed. Ethics is part of science.
If the interface is wrong, Vasa, Swedish warship, pays the price, so we verify again.
Vasa, Swedish warship, is not restored to perfection, only to survival.
August 10, 1628, Stockholm Harbor, 32 meters.
Those three facts, date, harbor, depth, frame everything about Vasa Drill.
We remember that Vasa carried people, not just cannons.
We did not erase the sea from Vasavia. We stopped the sea from finishing its work.
Stability is the quiet victory for Vasa Fön. No shortcuts, no spectacle, only the real work that kept Vasa intact.
We did not perfect Vasa. We protected what time left.
Vasa, Swedish warship, sank once in 1628.